became respectively Panis vice-champion, Mathieu Vazavier champion in the electric formula. Ice racing in the French Alps, the Pyrenees, and in the Vosges mountains of eastern France. This is it, back to that ferocious fourth place battle, and that's Rennie Binder, the number 3 car, the back of the picture there, nephew of Hans Binder, who was a Formula 1 driver from Austria back in the 70s. Cecotto has already gone across the line to complete 22 laps rather. Dillman, Delatraz and Panis follow him. Fastest lap of the race just set by Tom Dillman, a 1:29.7. Still somewhere off his 1:26.7 qualifying time, so 3 seconds off the pace then. But as we explained, the cars in a different configuration for qualifying as to how they are now, particularly as they're now on pretty worn tyres. Cecotto then and Dillman, there they are, coming through turn 14. Up the hill, through the chicane, it should be turn 4 rather, not 14, through the chicane, 8 and 9. And following them all the time, Delatraz, he's still pacing them, can't close in. Number 8 car, Aurélien Panis, and Mathieu Vazavier looking like he's getting very, very racy indeed. Closing every lap. He's only got about 4 or 5 minutes left to do it. Clock's ticking down then. We've got 2 more laps in, I think, before the countdown to the final lap. Look at Vazavier having another go then as they go down turns 1A and then plunge down the hill into 2 under the bridge. Very, very tight too. Not quite a hairpin, but almost. And there is Vazavier's team watching then, as this is the battle, of course, for 4th place. So they're off the podium, but there's still points at stake. Remember, Panis came here as championship leader after his 5th and 1st places in Aragon. All the time, Roy Nissany, the black and gold Lotus, shadowing them in 6th place, just waiting for one of them to make a mistake. Let's go back to the top 3 then. Cecotto, Dillman and Delatraz, here they are. Through 13 and 14 for what is probably the 3rd to last time. This is the chasing pack then. Panis, Vazavier, Nissany. They're just gradually dropping Visa. She's behind that group. 24 laps completed then. Still Cecotto, Dillman and Delatraz in the leading bunch. This, the number 8 car of Panis from Vazavier, Nissany and Beisker, and then right behind her, Pietro Fittipaldi, who we've hardly mentioned in this race. He's pulled himself up into 8th place. Grandson of Emerson, 19 years old from Miami, racing for Fortec. Fittipaldi had a rather messy race in Aragon, had an early collision which ended any chance of success. Qualified here this weekend in 12th place, but he has brought himself back up to 8th. There we go, in just 30 seconds time. Clock will run out, there'll be 1 lap remaining then. Just waiting to see where race leader Johnny Cecotto is. So this we can now assume may well. Here's Cecotto. Is he going to cross the line before or after that clock gets to 0-0? Looks like it is going to be the final lap then. Yep, this is lap 25 completed. Cecotto still ahead of Dillman and Delatraz. William Panis in third, Vesavier fifth, and Nissany in sixth. This is Vesavier then really chasing that fourth place again, but he's not quite as close as he was on the last lap to Aurélien Panis. Both 21 years old, one from Grenoble, the other from Limoges. Here they come then. Oh, we got an off. That's the 20 car of Giuseppe Cipriani. Man we saw going off by himself earlier, the 50-year-old from Venice. His race is over on what I'm presuming is the last lap. It's in the third sector, so these cars will not be able to overtake him this closing section. Vesavier has to tuck in the rear wing behind Panis. Well, there's Cipriani just going off by himself. An unforced error there, finding 530 horsepower too much for his right foot. This is the final lap, which Cecotto has gone into, so we will go to 27 laps. And Cecotto, Dillman, Delatraz our top three, Panis and Vesavier. This gives Vesavier one last chance then to try and get by Panis. Is this going to end in tears? We have seen this happen so many times in Renault 3.5. Here they come then, this is the battle for fourth place. Also battle developing now for sixth place as Baitsky Visa, she has a go there at Roy Nissany. Shuts the door on her though. Yellow flag is still out in the third sector, so if Vesavier wants to do anything about this, he's going to have to do it quickly because they're going to go into a yellow flag zone when they get into the third sector, and that third sector starts just after turn 11. They're now going through 6 and 7. I don't think Vesavier can do anything about it. It's too late. Any chance he might have had spoiled by that stranded car of Giuseppe Cipriani. We're into the third sector where he went off. And here comes race leader Johnny Cecotto, then going to take his first win in Formula 3.8, a 3.5 V8. Comes across the line, takes the win. He takes the win by 2.2 seconds from Dillman, 3 seconds from Delatraz, and here comes Panis. And Vesavier crossing the line for the last time to finish fighting 4th and 5th place there. Roy Nissany in 6th, Baitsky Visa in 7th, and Pietro Fittipaldi in 8th place after 27 laps of racing here at the Hungaroring. The frenetic humping and bumping by everyone today. We lost no less than 4 cars. Cipriani, our last retirement. Alfonso Celis, Igor Orudzev having that coming together, which is being investigated by the marshals. And Matavos Isakian finishing last in 15th place, having retired to the pits. So a win for Johnny Cecotto to open his season account, so a different winner for every race so far this year, which is just how it should be. So Johnny Cecotto Jr. kisses the camera. He is our winner, third-time winner of the first 3 races here. Cecotto, Delatraz, and taking those wins exactly as it should be. Different winner for each of the championships.
Family without mistakes to the end.
Thank you very much and congrats for your win.
Yeah, he'd be delighted. So, of course, to Will Father, Johnny, BMW touring car driver for many, many years. There's confirmation of the result then. 2.2 seconds was the gap between the two of them at the end. But as we said, if that safety car hadn't come in, who knows how that might have panned out. But plenty more to come tomorrow. We have another 40-minute plus 1 lap race. And, of course, that one will include pit stops with a mandatory 2-tire change midway through. So that, of course, brings the pit crews into the spotlight. Teams then bring out the European Formula 3 Championship spares ready for their race 2 of that series. But here we are then, guys, all just cooling down. So let's have a look at the points. Well, Dillman pushes himself into the points. Aurelian Panis came here as championship leader, suddenly finds himself down in 3rd place, couldn't quite get onto the podium. So it's Dillman, Delatraz, Panis, and Johnny Cecotto Jr. brings himself up into 4th place, having come here down in 9th. So that is a great bundle of points for him. No points at all for Cipriani or for Igor Orachev, who is one of the standouts last year, and everyone tipping him for great things, but he's got to keep his cool. Here's the highlights of race 1 then. This is what happened. On the grid, Tom Dillman for the Spanish AVF team, and alongside him Aurelian Panis, Louis Delatraz and Johnny Cecotto Jr. on row 2. Row 3, Mathieu Vezavier and Alfonso Celis, and further back Igor Arudzev making a bad qualifying for Arden. He'll be coming up the field, coming up far too quickly for the likes of Alfonso Celis, who will tangle with him and cause both of them to retire from the race. That's the moment that happened. Being investigated by the stewards as we speak. Brought out a yellow safety car. And once they went racing again, Tom Dillman, who had been in the lead of the race, made a mistake, went off the track and handed the lead to Johnny Cecotto Jr. From then on, it was catch up all the way, but it was Cecotto who absolutely dominated the rest of proceedings. 3 of them getting onto the podium, being Cecotto, Dillman and Delatraz, was Aurelian Panis, Mathieu Vezavier and Roy Nissany, the Israeli driver, fighting out a long battle for 4th place, which went in Aurelian Panis' favour, much to the delight of his father, Olivier. In the background was Jean-Denis Delatraz. So Delatraz and Dillman onto the podium, and at the top, Johnny Cecotto Jr.